Good evening, everyone, and thank you again for joining for this insightful masterclass today on Beyond the Index, Enhancing Portfolio with Smart Beta Solutions. That's the topic. I remember last month we were speaking about volatility, though there is no volatility in the market. This is a one-side market which is moving right now, but still we thought it is very appropriate to introduce our investors with the concept of how to manage volatility in case of corrections and all those things, which are the strategies which can work best. So again, Bhavesh, this masterclass is uh, it's our ongoing education series, which we keep doing every month, and we have been doing it from last 5 years. So we try to pick up a topic every month and try to bring in an expert like you who can educate our investors on this topic in depth and give us more insight on that topic, right? So again, we felt indexing, as we know, is in US, it is almost like most of the new investments happens through ETFs, index. India also it is catching up very quickly. On top of it, smart beta strategies, which are a extended version of indexing, is also gaining a lot of popularity today. So that's why it is very important for us to educate our investor on this concept of smart beta. Again, let me give you all a quick introduction about Bhavesh. Bhavesh is co-head of factor investing and is a key figure in the investment world. He brings with him almost 15 years of rich experience, having started his career with Edelweiss Asset Management in 2008. Today, he manages more than 30,000 crores, including several funds as part of risk-adjusted return strategies and ETF. His deep expertise in smart beta strategies allow him to leverage factor-based investing to generate efficient, balanced, and transparent portfolio. Bhavesh holds a master in management studies and also a MBA in finance from Mumbai University. His strategic insight, rooted in keeping investment simple, honest, and real, make him an exceptional guide for navigating today's markets. Before we dive in, Bhavesh, we always try to do a poll before we give our expert the opportunity to speak to give you an insight about what are our attendees thinking right now and what is their understanding of smart beta so that you can curate your event or your talk accordingly. So my request to everyone, please participate via the chat box, and it will just take 30 seconds for this. Your response will help us today tailor today's session and address your area of interest. So we will pause for 2 minutes. So we have Bhavesh. I will read out the questions uh, about how familiar you are with smart beta strategies. That is first question, and I think most of the people who have taken the poll, they are somewhat familiar. 80% are familiar with smart beta strategies. That makes your job a little more easier, but still, maybe you can give us fundamental concepts around it. Does your current portfolio include smart beta? Um, 87% feel not yet, but I am interested to learn more about smart beta. How do you currently allocate your portfolio between passive and active strategies? 56% mention that mostly active with some passive. Okay. And again, the next question is, what is your primary motivation for using passive investment strategies? 55% mention long-term growth. And the last question is, what do you believe is the biggest challenge with using factor-based investing? And I think 33% mention difficulty in timing factor performance. That was the biggest challenge investors face. And again, lack of historical data to validate strategies. And I'm sure Bhavesh has a lot of data to validate that today for all of us. So he will do justice with that. So, Bhavesh, with this background, maybe I can ask you to take the floor now. Thank you very much.
Uh, See, factor investing may sound a new word or something what many in India are, you can say, not familiar with, but directly, indirectly, they are doing it. Globally, if you will see, factor investing is a big piece. When I say factor investing, it is in a way smart beta, and then within that, you will see globally, smart beta ETF have started gaining a lot of momentum, and then look at the number of products, look at the number of, you can say, the growth. I think the number speaks for themselves. You can go to the next slide. Yeah. Can you move to the next slide?
Yes.
Yeah, and as I said, within India also you will see this number has moved in a big way. We have seen a jump of more than 200%, and this number is as on June end. If you look at latest number, it has already crossed 35,000 crore. So from 8,000 crore last year, June 2023, to almost 35,000 crore. So the category has become almost 4x in just, you can say, close to 14 to 15 months. But that clearly shows that we are still at a very nascent stage compared to where global markets are. And it is like if we become adaptive, if we try to use it earlier, we will be at a huge advantage rather than once the entire world start doing it and then we start just following it or replicating it. It's better to, you can say, be adaptive and try to learn new things. It will definitely help a lot of your investor. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. So, in simple word, you see, it is rather than, you can say, trying to understand factor-based investing using the theoretical, you can say, numbers and theoretical formulas. There is an easier way to recollect, you can say, or understand factor-based investing. See, if you have to win a single match in cricket, one good player can help you to win the match. He will be the man of the match for that particular match, and you will win it. But if you are playing a World Cup and you have to win series of matches, it is not one single match, but you have to win back-to-back matches. It is not possible that one single player will help you to win all the matches. Good day, good luck, bad luck, and that you can say one off day can happen with anyone. And that's why you have to have a team with
Yeah.
a different characteristic and different responsibilities. And that is how we look at factors. So first will be your informed batsman. Your informed batsman is someone who is consistent, who is already scoring runs for last few matches, and you expect him to continue that trajectory. So this is like your high growth company, which have been growing for last many years.
एक बार I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So it is like your high growth company, which is, you can say, already growing you, showing you strong potential. There is decent profit growth, decent sales growth. So these are your high growth company where you are reliable that yes, I will at least get this kind of growth in my portfolio. And if I get this kind of growth, that is then I'm expecting, you can say, XYZ kind of return from this particular stock. So this will be your HDFCs of the world and Marutis of the world, where you are very much sure that growth will never be a problem for this set of companies. Then there are few big hitters where you know that once the match is there in your favor and now you want someone to come and score quick run for you. That is where momentum as a factor comes into picture. You think those who are, you can say, can hit big stocks, they are ready to take, you can say, slightly higher volatility, but are ready to go for that slog shots. That is how momentum as a factor comes into picture. You just whatever things are there in your favor, you just try to take it to the extreme and try to maximize the, you can say, underlying momentum which you have with you. Then obviously then there are players like, you can say, where you are totally reliable. You know that even if they have one or two bad day, one or two bad matches, but you know their recovery is quite sharper. They will come back. They don't require, you can say, any practice or any other change in strategy. With time, definitely you are confident that a high quality player will always perform. And that is where your quality as a factor comes into picture, where you are totally reliable. And then finally, if it is a test match or if it is a situation where in one day you have lost couple of wickets in first over, you want someone to defense and someone to take the match till the end and help you to win these matches. So this is where low volatility comes into picture. Today, when markets are at lifetime high, everyone is going with momentum, everyone is going with informed player. But this is the time where you need to protect your guard and take the guard. If at all, as and when market takes a U-turn, you want to have a portfolio which is robust, which is strong enough to help you navigate this volatility and take you out of this volatile period with minimum amount of damage. So that is where your defensive sectors, your low volatility sectors, your low beta stocks comes into picture. If you recollect 2008, when markets were down almost 50%, there were stocks like HUL and others which have outperformed in a huge way. So this is your defensive sector. So that is, in simple word, a factor-based investing for you. You are not dependent. You are running a multi-factor cricketing team where someone will be following growth as a strategy, someone will be following value as a strategy, someone will be following momentum as a strategy. But uh, traditionally, if you will see in India, people used to understand only two, or you can say a couple of style of investment. One was value, where Prashant Jain, Naren, and so many other star fund manager developed their brand as a value investor. And it is not from India. It is, if you look at global also, whether it is Warren Buffett, whether it are with our various, you can say, investor veterans, they pitched valuation as a strong case, and that is the style which was known to us. Then when it comes to Indian market, it was always a high growth market, and that's why the other style of investment which became very popular in India was growth. Then we have few, you can say few PMS fund manager like say Marcellus, where they started talking about quality. Then we started seeing Quant Mutual Fund, which started talking about momentum. So there are different AMCs which are following different style, different fund managers following different style. For us, this style is nothing but factor. So in simple word, factor is any, you can say, common characteristic which is there in a you can say a bucket of stock. Like when you are talking about low volatility, then all your IT companies, all your pharma companies, all your FMCG companies are clubbed together. So they will have a common characteristic that in a bear market, they will come out with minimum damage. Whenever there is flight to safety, people will go and hide in this kind of stocks. Then similarly, there are, you can say, a few high beta names where you know in a bull market, whenever there is, you can say, flush of liquidity or whenever there is a lot of positivity in market, these high beta names will always rally. So this is how you club them, and this common traits in a particular group of stock is nothing but factor. Now, different factors have different advantages and different disadvantages. As we move forward to the next slide, we will discuss that. So if you can just go to the next slide. So these are the six popular, you can say, factors being utilized by us otherwise in different scheme. Now, factor-based investing for us is also used in active funds, is also used in passive fund. Factor-based investing is also used by us for stock selection. It is also used by us for asset allocation, and it is also used by us for sector rotation. So there are multiple purpose, multiple objectives which factor-based investing help us to achieve. Now we are just taking, you can say, five to six popular factors which are very easy and you can say known to us. So if you take the first and the simplest factor is size. Now, if you will just go back and look in history, the first popular index which any one of us would have heard in India is Sensex. Now, what is Sensex? Sensex is the factor-based index. The factor which Sensex look at is size. How company become part of Sensex index, 30 Sensex 30, 30 companies with largest market cap will become part of Sensex. If you take 50 companies with largest market cap on a free float basis, it becomes Nifty. If you take 500, it becomes your Nifty 500, CNX 500 or S&P 500. So this is nothing but size-based index where the only criteria to select any company is market cap. Traditionally in India, whatever passive investment or passive index fund or passive ETF which you would have used would be purely size-based factor invest. Whether it was Nifty, whether it was you can say Nifty Junior, whether it was NSE 500, whether it was BSE 200, all of them were simple market cap based index. Here, if you will see, the study is quite simple. Historically, if you look at long-term data, small cap over a long period of time will always outperform large cap. Reason is simple. Small caps are, you can say, high chances of higher growth because they have a smaller base, a lower base, so they can grow much faster. Second, small cap, as they grow bigger and bigger, they become part of a lot of popular, you can say, indices, and then as a result, more and more people keep on buying them. Earlier, there are very few analysts who are looking at a particular small cap. Now there will be five analysts, 10 analysts who will start tracking that company. Earlier, only five fund managers were looking at this stock. Now 10, 15, 20 fund managers will start looking at this stock. And as a result, you will always see that over a long period of time, small cap will give you better return because it is the simple logic of high risk, high return. You are taking slightly higher volatility when it comes to small cap, and as a result, you can expect slightly better return. So that is size factor for you. Now, quality. If it is a very simple and you can say commonsensical question, if I ask you if you have to buy two company, one is high on quality and second is not so high on quality. So quality, it can be, you can say, measured using ROE, ROCE, debt to equity. So some company which is debt free versus some company which is having debt to equity ratio of more than 10. Obviously, one will prefer a company with low debt, a company with higher ROE, a company with higher ROC, and all that stuff. So this is how you select a quality company. Similarly, growth company, if two promoters are there, almost same in characteristic, both having same segment, both having same business, both are doing very good. But one is growing at 30% and other is growing at 10%. And if you have to select one stock, which one you will prefer? Then again, here you will prefer a company which is growing faster because you also know if my stocks are going, the EPS or profitability or sales of a particular company is going faster, definitely I will make more amount of money over here. So this is growth factor for you. Your Bajaj Finance, Titan, people kept on saying that they are expensive, 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 but the amount of growth they were able to deliver, that is the reason even after 15 year, 20 year, 25 year, the stocks are still giving you double digit CAGR return because their growth also is equal to double digit. Then value, very simple. Stocks which are cheaper will definitely will be more attractive, and stocks which are trading at high P multiple can be more volatile and can be more riskier. So this is where your PSU companies, PSU bank, your Tata Steel and all the words comes into picture. So your cyclical names and all that stuff. So this is how a value based factor will perform. Then momentum, this is very simple. Momentum as a factor tells you you will just ride the trend. If someone is performing better, you will assume that it will keep on performing better and you will ride on that. And if someone is not performing, then irrespective whether it is cheap, whether it is attractive, till the time if the stock is not performing, you will not touch those stocks. So this is simple momentum for you. Momentum can be calculated in multiple way. You can look at 3 month return, you can look at 6 month return, you can look at 12 month return. You can look at absolute return. You can look at alpha, which is outperformance over and above particular benchmark. And then that is how you can select momentum-based portfolio. Again, here the rule is quite simple. A stock which is doing better, its market cap will keep on increasing. If its historical return are better, more and more analysts, more and more fund manager will be start looking at that company, and as a result, they will start buying it. Because more and more people are buying it, automatically it will become bigger. It will become part of small cap index, mid cap index, large cap index, MSCI, FTSE, and then as a result, more and more people will keep on buying this stock, and that is why momentum always leads to you can say higher outperformance over a period of time. Then last is very simple. Volatility, as I already told you, in an volatile market, a stock with low volatility will definitely outperform a stock with high volatility. If two stocks are going to give me same return, if we just do a simple maths of, you can say second standard maths, just ignoring the compounding thing which we have learned in last many, many years, just ignore the compounding things and just do the second standard maths. First company is giving me 20% return in each year. So for me, the simple maths is 20 plus 20. I will make 40% return in this particular stock. Second company in first year is giving me minus 50% return. In second year, it is giving me plus 90% return. Again, here also minus 50 plus 90. The answer is 40%. So stock A is also giving me 40% return. Stock B is also giving me 40% return. But stock A is high on consistency. I'm getting 20% return each year versus stock B, which is extremely volatile, where my returns can be anywhere between negative 50 to positive 90. So in this scenario also, I will prefer a company with lower volatility because lower volatility will always help me to stay invested in that particular stock for a longer period of time, and so that whenever that you can say wealth creation journey has to be started, I will be there to participate in that rally. Otherwise, if the stock is down 50%, high chances that I may exit, and then when the next year when the stock goes up 90%, I will miss the rally because of this volatility. So that's why normally if both stocks are supposed to be giving you similar return, then one will definitely try to select a stock which is slightly lower on volatility, lower on risk metrics. So these are, you can say, some of the basic formula which we use in our you can say different kind of products which we manage. As I told you, there are these are only six popular factor. If you look at globally, there are more than 300 to 350 factors where already research papers are available. So sentiment, liquidity, currency movement, interest rate. There are so many other factors which influence a stock performance or a stock's return. But even if you are able to take three or four best performing factor, I think that is good enough to navigate through this. You can say market and try to generate decent outperformance compared to your traditional, you can say, funds and traditional style of investment. So if you will see, if you can just move, you can say, three slides ahead. So this is history and this is all. Yeah. So here, this is an interesting chart which we have prepared. Broadly, we are working on four parameters or four factors: quality, growth, value, along with that momentum. Now, one question which someone asked is how to do factor timing, or how to select which factor will perform in which kind of environment. So this problem is not only with factor-based investing, this problem is with any kind of portfolio manager, whether it is fundamental, whether it is factor, whether it is technical. No one knows the future, and no one can be correct 100% of the time. If you will see from 2014 to 2020, Prashant Jain was not able to beat benchmark for almost 6 years. Then in next 4 year, valuation started performing. And look at today, all the funds of, you can say HDFC, AMC are top of the chart. Today, which funds are at the bottom of the table? Your winner of 2014, 15, 17, 18, 20, funds of Axis, fund of Mirai, which were winner of those period where growth was doing very good. They were winner at that point of time. Today, they are at bottom of the table. So there is no style, whether it is fundamental style or whether it is a factor-based style, which will be performing or which will be correct 100% of the time. So again, your traditional style of investment, your fundamental style of investment, and factor-based investment are not materially different. When I say HDFC funds were not performing because value was not doing well. Today, HDFC funds are performing because value is doing exceptionally well. And that is same thing which is visible in this chart also. You will see sometime quality is at number one, sometime quality is at the bottom of the table, sometime value is at number one, sometime value is at the bottom of the table. But the only thing which is consistent is momentum. You will see out of this 12 years data which is there in front of you, momentum was at the bottom half only once in 2016. Otherwise, momentum always was number one, number two. Quality became one, quality became four, growth became one, growth became came at the bottom of the table, became one, value came at the bottom of the table. But look at the consistency of momentum. Because see, momentum is not biased to any particular frame of, you can say, investment. If today there is good returns in value stock, momentum will be loaded on value stock. Tomorrow there is good return in quality stocks, momentum immediately will navigate and shift to quality stocks. And as in when growth will pick up, momentum will move to growth stock. Because in momentum, what you are trying to do actually is you are just looking at last 3 month return, last 6 month return, and last 12-month return, and the stock which are outperforming is your portfolio. So that is how when value is doing good, immediately after 3 months, whenever you do rebalance, your portfolio will be loaded with value stock. And then value will do good for a couple of years. You will automatically outperform in those years. After that, when quality will start performing, within 3 months, your portfolio will move to quality stocks. And then that quality will keep on outperforming for next couple of years. You will keep on outperforming for next couple of years. So that is how, as I told you, it is very difficult to predict which factor will work in any cycle. But if you are in a way looking at momentum, you are more or less sure that you may not be at the top, but at least you will not be at the bottom half of the table. So that is how momentum as a strategy has performed, irrespective whether it was a bull market, bear market, sideways market, range bound market. It has always outperformed with a decent margin. So the simple way is to play it is momentum. If you go to the next slide, you can see the returns also across time period. These are, you can say, all the factors. You will see over last 10 years, momentum has given you 26% CAGR return versus benchmark, which is BSE 250 large cap and large and mid cap index, have delivered only 15% return. If you'll see, all the factors more or less have replicated the benchmark over a 10-year period. So benchmark is 15, some are at 13, some are at 16, some are at 17. But look at momentum, it is outperforming all other factors with a huge margin. And that is the beauty of momentum. In bull market, no one will be able to catch hold of you. And in bear market, your correction is in line with most of the other factors. So you are actually not losing in a bear market and winning with a huge margin in a bull market. So that is the beauty of, you can say, following a momentum based strategy. If you go to the next slide, yeah, you will see again, as I already told you, it is very difficult to predict. In each year, there will be a different factor which is outperforming. You will see most of the time period, momentum is either number one or number two, but all others have seen that red box in their historical performance, whether it is low volatility underperforming in 2017 and 2021. So in a volatile market, you will see like 2018 or 2020 during COVID, your low wall product was able to, low wall strategy was able to outperform. Then in a growth oriented market where you are coming out of, you can say, crisis like demonetization. So look at 2017, growth was the best performing factor. Then where you are coming out of crisis like COVID, look at 2021, again, growth is the winner for you. So growth has outperformed in a decent way in all the years where you are just coming out of crisis. Then again, if you look at 2000, value as a strategy. Look at 2022 and 2023, when the market dynamics changed. Look how strongly value has come back, and then how big outperformance it is there compared to growth as a strategy for last couple of years. Same thing happened during 2016, during Demon, where suddenly, because of demonetization and because of surgical strike on Pakistan and all that stuff, there was a flight to safety. And look at value as a parameter in that 2016 year also, outperformed everyone with a huge margin. But as I told you, number of reds are there, at least two or three in each and every parameter. But look at momentum, not even a single red box. That means it has never happened that momentum was the worst performing factor. So now if we can just go to the next slide and take a deep dive into momentum. So momentum as a factor is very simple. It tells that stocks which are winning will continues to outperform and will keep on winning. There is a lot of literature starting from 19th century where Charles Dow and you can say Jagdish Titman, they did various analysis and found out that buyers, winners will keep on winning. And that's why we say keep on buying. You can say normally what tendency we have is a stock which is outperformed, we try to sell, and the stock which is underperformed, we try to buy. That is counterintuitive, or you can say counter cyclical. What a momentum based strategy tells you, keep on adding to your buyers, and as a rule, never average your falling stock. That's why another saying which says don't try to catch a falling knife. So all these things, go with the trend, don't try to catch a falling knife. All these, you can say, phrases is nothing but telling you momentum as a strategy is a better way to play rather than trying to capture, you can say, a falling knife. If you will see what is the major difference between a fundamental style of selecting stock versus the momentum style of selecting stock. So if you can just go to the next slide, you will see a fundamental investor will try to capture the stock at the bottom. They will do bottom fishing, they will do fundamental analysis, hardcore research, and they will find out a stock exactly at the bottom. They will identify, they will discover a lot of new stocks for you. Now, say for example, you buy a stock at 100 rupees, which was extremely cheap. You buy it at 100. Then as the stock grows, rise, it becomes 200, 250, 300, it start becoming expensive. You exit, you sell this stock and start searching for new stock. But a momentum guy will say that stock has already moved from 100 to 300. That means there is some positivity, there is some good, you can say, momentum in this stock. Let me buy. And you will buy this stock at 300. And eventually you will sell this stock at a much higher price, which can be 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, where valuation may not be comfortable, but because there is momentum, you will enjoy that entire upride, which a normal valuation based fund manager will not be able to catch. So today, if you will see, just taking an example of a balance advantage fund as a category, today, the biggest balance advantage fund on the basis of valuation, ICICI BAF, is running less than 40% equity. And they've been doing this from the time where Nifty was around 21,000, 22,000, 23,000. Today, as we speak, we have crossed 26,200 also. So you kept on saying markets are expensive and market kept on touching newer highs every month, every quarter, every, you can say, passing day. So now someday it will correct, that even you know and that even I know. But rather than preempting that 21,000 is the top and it will not go above that and waiting for correction, and markets are already up 5,000 points from there, it's better to ride the momentum. As and when market will take a U-turn, you can follow momentum strategy over there. As and when market will close below its moving averages, or above its and the returns are on the lower side for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, you can immediately cut down your position. But it doesn't make any sense to preempt that 21,000 or 22,000 is top, and then you will buy, you will sell at 21,000, you will buy at 19,000. So in this process, you are trying to protect 2,000 rupees fall. But in anticipation of protecting this 2,000 rupees fall, you have already missed 6,000 rupees rally. Another example of this is, if you will see, the biggest small cap fund in the country, they stopped taking lump sum money into their small cap fund last year when small cap index was 10,600, 10,700. Now, because of their bigger, you can say, size, where they were the biggest small cap fund, they were already holding more than 150 stocks in their stock small cap portfolio. They took a call that we will not accept another, you can say, lump sum investment in our small cap fund. And that time, if you'll see, there was a period where multiple other AMCs also stopped their small cap, you can say, funds for subscription. There was a research house which stopped covering mid cap and small cap stocks under their radar and all that stuff. So there was a lot of panic and a lot of euphoria within mid cap and small cap. That day, small cap index was 10,800. Today, as we speak, small cap index is 19,500. So from the point where the biggest small cap fund manager thought that markets are risky and markets are expensive, the momentum was so strong that from 10,600, where he thought that markets are expensive and risky, Nifty is up by another 85 to 90%. And you don't know whether 19,500 is the top, or you will go to 20,000, 22,000, 24,000. You don't know even today. So that is the challenge which normally a momentum-based strategy try to solve. Never try to judge, never try to preempt the top and the bottom of the market. Ride the momentum either on the upside or on the downside. As and when market will take a U-turn, you may miss that last 5%, 7% either side, but it's better to lose 5, 7% rather than waiting or more than 30% for your view to go right. So that is how momentum as a strategy helps you to navigate, you can say, in the market where valuation will not allow you to participate, and liquidity will not allow you to go out of market. So that is the beauty of momentum as a strategy. Now, one may think that momentum is a bull market phenomena, or it is only India specific phenomena, but this is the data which is quite hard hitting. We have few indices, which is MSCI, provided by MSCI. So MSCI USA, MSCI Japan, and MSCI Europe. So one is their standard market cap based index, and second is their momentum based index. Like in India also, now we have so many momentum index provided by NSE, whether it is mid cap 150, momentum 50, or whether it's NSE 200, momentum 30 companies. Similarly, they also have MSCI Europe momentum index, MSCI Japan momentum index, and MSCI USA momentum index. Global markets, developed market, where it is very difficult to generate alpha, where a majority of the portfolio managers have already moved to passive strategy. Look at your simple momentum strategy. They are generating alpha not only for last 5 years, not only for last 10 years, but for last 30 years. So if it can work in the most developed market with full information and full liquidity, like USA for last 30 years, and able to generate an alpha of 2.5%, there is no reason to believe that it will not continue in India for another 10, 15, 20 years. And as I told you, if it is working for last 30 years over there, that doesn't mean it has stopped working now. It is still working and it will continue to work going forward also. So that is the reason that one should not worry, or one should not have an apprehension that this is a short-term strategy and it may not work over a long period of time. If this is, you can say, global data, if you go to the next slide, you can look at very hard hitting data from India also, where, as I told you, the two index, one is mid cap momentum and second is large cap momentum. So Nifty 200 top 30 and Nifty mid cap 150, 50 momentum. Look at both these indices. Nifty mid cap is also provided by NSE. Nifty mid cap momentum is also provided by NSE. Nifty 200 and Nifty 200 momentum is also provided by NSE. And look at the data. across time period, whether it is 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, the strategy is able to outperform. So since inception is almost 19-year-old data now, and in each period you will see both of this momentum based strategy are able to generate an alpha of 6 to 7%, and 6 to 7%, mind you, even if you take cost and all that stuff, even if you're able to generate 3 to 4% alpha, no other strategies will have this consistency and then will be able to generate 3 to 4% alpha across time period. So if you go to the next slide, yeah, we will have some more data on performance. So if here also you will see momentum as a strategy has been able to outperform, whether it is on the downside, which is the minimum rolling return of 5 year, maximum rolling return. If you look at average 5 year rolling return, there also momentum is outperforming all other factors on an average by 5 to 7%. And this is again not a 1 year, 2 year data. We are talking about last 10 years data on a rolling 5 year basis. So clearly, momentum is a big time winner. But as I told you, there is there are enough data available both in global market as well as developed market to show that momentum has been a star performing strategy across long period of time. But yes, if you go to the next slide, we have for few. So now, previous period, yeah. Yeah. So now you will see this is a pure single factor strategy and how we try to protect you by following a multi-factor strategy. So if you will see momentum is the best performing factor,
So,
but look at volatility. Yeah,
Bhavesh, I just want to pause you here and ask you some question because you already covered something on momentum.
sure.
Maybe because I think that will be something which will be very relevant for all our listeners. Uh, I think, what do you think is the big reason? And if you can go back to those slides on momentum, why momentum as a strategy has worked so well in India? Any reasons why it is doing
Sure.
so well?
Sure. So,
And what are the
Tarun,
downsides investors should be aware, maybe if any, based on your experience?
sure, Tarun. So if you will see any factor-based strategy have a very strong fundamental base on which that factor is performing. So see, normally just think from a as an investor. First, when a company stock price starts moving, when there is some underlying positive things which are happening in that particular company, it can be turnaround, it can be getting new orders, it can be getting new technology, it can be reducing your cost, it can be getting great management, and that's why your stock, your results start showing your performance. Now, first, that will be like if you are a small cap company or you are you can say something as a new company, there'll be very few analysts, very few fund managers which will be looking at your performance. But now, as you start performing quarter after quarter, quarter after quarter, there'll be few early adapter who will come and start buying your stock. So this is how momentum will start coming. If you will see the stock till yesterday, there was no change. Like take example of Tata Motors. Just before, you can say this JLR and all that didn't happen. Tata tried so many things. No one was ready to take their car. Nano, they still brought Nano. Nano also failed. Then they acquired JLR. Global crisis happened, and nothing was going right for them. But after that, as they start getting US technology, developed market technology, and after that, look at how the turnaround has happened. A stock which no one was ready to touch as 150 is already have gone to, you can say, 1,000 plus. If you look at so many, you can say, multi-baggers, there are multiple examples where suddenly a stock start taking a U-turn. So now here, the main reason is, as I told you, first is your performance. If your business performance is better, automatically that is reflected in your stock price. Now few players will first try to catch you at the early stage, then we will buy, then looking at our holding, other will start tracking you. Because I have bought it and my competitors have not bought it, I am able to generate alpha, I am able to outperform. Then as a result, my competitor will also start tracking you, they will also start buying your stock. Now, because more and more people have started buying your stock, your market cap has grown up. As your market caps keep growing, more and more you are becoming eligible for more and more funds, more and more fund manager to be looking at your stock. So at 5,000 crore, a lot of funds are not investing because you are a smaller company. But now at 50,000 crore, automatically you are eligible for each and every fund house and everyone starts evaluating you. Now more and more people buy, you automatically become part of small cap index, large cap index, mid cap index. And if you keep on growing, then you become part of foreign indices also, like MSCI, Vanguard, and others. And this is how momentum helps you to keep on winning, and more buyers keep on buying you. So it is like, it is not a pure value based person will first identify you, but he will buy you at 100, he will sell you at 200. But a momentum guy will come at 200 and will ride the entire rally till 2000, 3000, 4000. So that is why momentum as a strategy across time period has been able to outperform. And now the biggest advantage is, see, today there is a single style of fund management which each AMC will follow. Like when value was not doing well, Prashant Jain was also aware that my value as a strategy is not working, my PSU bank call is not working, but he cannot change because there is an emotional attachment, there is an confidence, there is an, you can say, comfort which is there, because he has been doing value for years and years together. So he will not change his style of investment just because there is a 3 year or a 5 year of underperformance. Similarly, today, Axis and Mirai also knows that growth is not performing and value is doing well, but they will not change their style. They know that if, whenever growth will come back, we will be able to recover the entire performance. So they will not change their style. As a result, sometimes growth do well, sometimes value do well. Now, momentum doesn't have any biasness that I will take only value stocks, or I will take only growth stock, or I will take only quality stocks. Momentum is a dynamic character. He will buy irrespective who is the winner. If value is winner, he will buy value. If growth is winner, he will buy growth. And if quality is winner, he will buy quality. So this dynamic approach, where they are not restricting themselves to a single style of investment, helps momentum to win across market cycle.
So भावेश, I'm just trying to connect it with life and हम सब की लाइफ में कुछ संस्कार वैल्यूज कुछ होनी बहुत जरूरी है. हम हमारी फिलॉसफी से बनते हैं. आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू गेट लिटिल फिलोसॉफिकल हियर. बट आप कह रहे हो मोमेंटम में हम कोई फिलॉसफी से जुड़े हुए नहीं है. हम किसी की बात नहीं सुनते हैं. हम जो अच्छा आज चल रहा है बस हम उसको ले लेंगे. राइट? यू आर
बस बस
ट्राइंग टू.
बस बस। तो
राइट?
वो ऐसे ही है, जैसे जैसे हम।
कि आपकी कोई वैल्यूज नहीं है, आपका कोई सिस्टम नहीं है, बस जो चल रहा है बस उसको ले लिया. सो इज,
हाँ, मतलब वही है कि
मतलब
मेरी
वो
कोई एक
डाइजेस्ट
पर्टिकुलर।
करने के लिए, जस्ट हियर मी आउट, वो डाइजेस्ट करने के लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है कि ऐसा क्या, मतलब विदाउट एनी फिलोसफी कि वेदर दैट कंपनी इज अ हाई वैल्यू स्टॉक और इज दैट कंपनी हाई डिविडेंड yielding. So I think investor get that feeling, and let me tell you, when I speak to investor, momentum word makes them feel very jittery कि आप हमको एकदम आज के बाजार में एकदम मतलब कोई महंगी चीज दिला रहे हो जो आज एकदम पीक पे है. So from a investor behavior perspective, this is a challenge which I have observed all the time question coming in. So how will you address this?
श्योर। सो आई थिंक यस, मोमेंटम नॉर्मली एवरी सबको यही लगता है कि मोमेंटम, हम हर चीज जो मार्केट के टॉप पे है वही खरीदते हैं। बट अगर आप देखोगे, क्या ज्यादा राइट कोई नहीं, 100% ऑफ द टाइम कोई राइट नहीं होता है। मतलब नो वन इज गेटिंग इट राइट 100% ऑफ द टाइम। इफ यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट वन स्टाइल ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, आपका ट्रेडिशनल है, समझो फंडामेंटल्स, यू आर लुकिंग एट ग्रोथ, यू आर लुकिंग एट हार्डकोर रिसर्च एंड इवैल्यूएटिंग द कंपनी एंड देन सिलेक्टिंग अ स्टॉक। आपने डिक्सन 1000 में लिया, 3000 में बेच दिया। 1000 में जब कोई डिक्सन को हाथ नहीं लगा रहा था, आपने देख लिया, आपने पसंद कर लिया, और 1000 से 3000 आपने बेच दिया। 3000 पे महंगा है। अब 3000 पे बेच के दूसरा स्टॉक ढूंढना ज्यादा सेंसिबल है, या 3000 से लेके 14000 तक मोमेंटम राइड करना ज्यादा सेंसिबल है? ये क्वेश्चन हमको हमेशा पूछना होगा। सेकंड, जैसे मैंने बहुत सारे एग्जांपल दिए, सबसे बड़े स्मॉल कैप फंड मैनेजर ने बोल दिया कि अब स्मॉल कैप में पैसा नहीं डालना चाहिए, स्मॉल कैप रिस्की है। आपने अगर उनकी बात सुनी रहती, उनके जो संस्कार, जो उनके रूल्स, उनके जो कानून, उनको आपने फॉलो किया रहता, आप 10,600, 10,800 पे स्मॉल कैप से बाहर हो जाते, या एटलीस्ट नया पैसा नहीं डालते। जो नया पैसा आपका जो एसेट एलोकेशन का हिस्सा होता, कि मुझे जब भी 100 रुपए आएंगे, मुझे 20 रुपए स्मॉल कैप लेना चाहिए, पुराना आपने नहीं करा, नहीं, लेकिन नया डालना बंद कर दिया। नया डालना बंद कर दिया, 10,800 पे आज वो फंड की आज स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स की वैल्यू हो गई 19,500। अब मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि वो कभी वापिस 10,500 नहीं आएगा, लेकिन 10,500 पे बैठ के 19,500 तक इंतजार करना कि कभी ना कभी तो गिरेगा। अगर गिर भी जाए तो कितना गिरेगा? 10,500 वाला 9,500 होगा, 8,500 होगा, 7,500 होगा, 6,500 होगा, 4,000 गिर जाएगा, 5,000 गिर जाएगा। वो 4-5 हजार गिरने के बचने के चक्कर में आपने ऑलरेडी 8,000 9,000 खो दिया है। और आज भी कोई गारंटी नहीं है कि 19,500 से 22,500, 24,500, 26,500 नहीं आएगा। तो आपको आपका रिस्क रिवॉर्ड हमेशा देखना है, कितना खोने के लिए तैयार हो, और कितना और पा सकते हो, ये दोनों चीज है। आपने 10,500 पे बेच दिया ये सोच के कि मैं शायद 10-20% और ऊपर जाएगा चलेगा, 10-20% की रैली मिस हो गई चलेगा, बट डाउन साइड में 50% फॉल आएगा तो मुझे बचाना है। और हुआ तो एग्जैक्टली उल्टा, डाउन साइड 10-20% भी नहीं आया और अपसाइड में आपकी 90% की रैली मिस हो गई।
तो
अगर आप
मुझे
मोमेंटम फॉलो करते, अगर आप मोमेंटम फॉलो करते, आप टॉप, मैं ही नहीं बोल रहा कि मोमेंटम टॉप पकड़ लेगा, मोमेंटम टॉप नहीं पकड़ेगा, लेकिन जब वो 19,500 से गिर के 18,500 आएगा, 17,500 आएगा, आपका सिग्नल बोल देगा आप इससे बाहर निकल जाओ, अब इसका मोमेंटम खराब हो गया। तो 17,500 पे बेचना बेटर है। 19,500 ना मैंने पकड़ा ना आपने पकड़ा, लेकिन आपने 10,500 पे बेचा है, मैंने 17,500 पे बेचा है, तो ये फर्क होता है मोमेंटम वर्सेज एक फंडामेंटल स्टाइल में।
So again, two questions based on your answer. Let's say I am in a 1929 US Great Depression. मैं उस टाइम पे हूँ और उस टाइम पे मैं कह रहा हूँ अगले 10 साल एकदम डिप्रेशन के हैं, 5 साल एकदम डिप्रेशन के हैं, एंड देर इज अ मीन रिवर्जन विच इज गोइंग टू टेक प्लेस इन द कंट्री। कि मतलब लास्ट 5 साल, अगेन इंडिया का एग्जांपल ले रहा हूँ, लास्ट 5 साल में हम लोगों ने मल्टी डिजिट रिटर्न बनाए हैं, और अगर हमको मीन रिवर्जन करना है तो अगले 5 साल के अंदर वी हैव टू मेक वेरी लो रिटर्न्स, राइट? अगर इफ द हिस्ट्री हैज टू रिपीट, राइट? In a momentum strategy, how would you sail 10 years of Great Depression? Will your portfolio get complete? Because जैसे मैंने 2 साल में देखा, पीएसयू स्टॉक भी वी वर बाइंग अदानी ऑल्सो, वी वर बाइंग कैपिटल गुड्स ऑल्सो, वी वर बाइंग डिफेंस ऑल्सो, विच आर लाइक वेरी हाई वैल्यूएशन स्टॉक। So, in that, how do you justify that, or how do you feel a bad period of 10 year, or because India में हमने मंदी देखी नहीं है, if you frankly ask me, 20 साल से हमने मंदी देखी नहीं है, तो do you think still a momentum will sail a मंदी 10 years, 5 year prolonged मंदी also?
Yes. See, the biggest myth around momentum is that in falling market it will correct, it will fall. See, what is momentum? एक simple definition momentum का क्या है? Every 6 month I rebalance my portfolio. कोई 3 महीना है, कोई 6 महीना है. Just take simple example of NSE momentum index, mid cap momentum index. Every 6 month I rebalance my portfolio. अब मेरी rebalancing की स्टाइल क्या है? जून एंड में और दिसंबर एंड में 2 बार मेरा पोर्टफोलियो चर्न होगा। जून एंड में जब पोर्टफोलियो चर्न होगा, मैं देख रहा क्या हूँ, लास्ट 6 महीने के विनर्स। अब लास्ट रीबैलेंसिंग समझो मेरी हुई थी जून 2024 में। जून 2024 में मार्केट में विनर्स कौन थे? कैपिटल गुड्स, डिफेंस, पीएसयू बैंक्स। तो मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में वो सारे स्टॉक्स आ गए। अब जून 2024 से लेके अब सितंबर आ गया, 3 महीने से तो ये स्टॉक खराब कर रहे। अब जब दिसंबर में वापस मेरी रीबैलेंसिंग होगी, अब विनर में कौन आएगा? आईटी कंपनी, सम ऑफ द प्राइवेट बैंक्स, आपका एफएमसीजी, आपका बर्जर पेंट, ये सारे स्टॉक्स अभी विनर्स है। अभी जब मैं रिबैलेंस करूंगा, मेरे पोर्टफोलियो में ये सारे स्टॉक आ जाएंगे। उसके बाद में एचएल कितना भी गिर जाए, उसके बाद में आपके मजगांव डॉक कितना भी गिर जाए, आपके पीएसयू बैंक्स कितना भी गिर जाए, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। अब जैसे हमने लिया था, एग्जाम्पल फिर से मैं लेता हूँ डिक्सन का। मैंने डिक्सन लिया था 4,500 में, आज 14,000 हो गया। अब मैं किस चीज की खुशी मनाऊं कि 4,500 से लेके 14,500 मैंने होल्ड किया उसकी, या 14,500 पे नहीं बेच पाया, और जब उसका भाव 12,000 हुआ, मोमेंटम खराब हुआ, 6 महीने के मोमेंटम में वो खराब देखने लग गया, मैंने 12,000 में बेचा। तो 4,000 पे बेचने के बदले मैंने 12,000 पे बेचा। 14,000 ना आपको मिला ना मुझे मिला, पर दुखी ज्यादा कौन होगा, जिसने 4,000 में बेचा है, जिसने 12,000 में बेचा। तो मोमेंटम आपके लिए वो वाली चीज है। टॉप और बॉटम कोई नहीं पकड़ेगा। आज जैसे एग्जांपल है, बहुत सारे लोग कहते हैं डिफेंस स्टॉक में देखो कैसे 20% का फॉल आ गया, या पीएसयू बैंक्स में कैसे 15% का फॉल आ गया। लेकिन आप ये भी तो देखिए कि वही डिफेंस के स्टॉक, वही एचएएल 1,000 रुपए से 5,000 हुआ था, 6,000 हुआ था। 1,000 से 6,000 तो किसी भी फंडामेंटल फंड मैनेजर ने उसको हाथ नहीं लगाया, पकड़ नहीं पाया। अब 6,000 से 4,000 हो गया समझो एग्जाम्पल के लिए। तो मेरे लिए तो आज भी 1,000 का खरीदी और 4,000 का सेलिंग है। 6,000 पे ना मैंने बेचा, 6,000 पे ना आपने बेचा। आपने तो 1,000 से उसको बोल दिया कि महंगा है, डिफेंस है या पीएसयू है, इसको हाथ नहीं लगाना है, अडानी ग्रुप है, इसको हाथ नहीं लगाना है। बट वो स्टॉक 4 गुना, 6 गुना, 8 गुना हो गए, अगर आधा भी हो गया तो मेरे लिए तो आज भी 4 गुना है मेरे खरीदी के भाव से। तो आपको मोमेंटम में वो वाली चीज का ध्यान रखना है। और हम ये कभी भी नहीं कहते कि खाली मोमेंटम वाले फंड लो। आपके लिए सुटेबल फंड क्या है? मल्टी फैक्टर फंड। जैसे हमने एक फंड लॉन्च किया है अल्फा लो वॉल, जहाँ पे मोमेंटम के साथ में हमने लो वोलेटिलिटी लॉन्च कर लिया। अगले महीने हम एक एनएफओ लेके आ रहे हैं, जहाँ पे हम लोग ने लॉन्च किया है क्वालिटी मोमेंटम, यानी कि हाई क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स में मोमेंटम, सो दैट आपने जो कुछ नाम लिए जहाँ पे क्वालिटी के लोगों को डर है, क्वालिटी पे लोगों को भरोसा नहीं है, वो नाम वैसे ही बाहर हो जाएंगे क्योंकि आपने फिल्टर लगा दिया क्वालिटी वाले स्टॉक्स में मोमेंटम। तो इस तरीके से आपने इस प्रॉब्लम को भी सॉल्व कर दिया। मोमेंटम एक स्ट्रैटेजी है, बट जरूरी नहीं कि सारे फंड मोमेंटम पे ही चलेंगे। विद इन मोमेंटम देर कैन बी क्वालिटी मोमेंटम, देर कैन बी वैल्यू प्लस मोमेंटम, देर कैन बी लो वोलेटिलिटी प्लस मोमेंटम। तो बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स है एक्टिव में एज वेल एज पैसिव में, जहां पे आपने अक्रॉस टाइम पीरियड ये चीज देखी है। लेकिन जो इसके पहले हमने आपको स्टार्टिंग में एक चार्ट बताया था, उसमें हमने क्या देखा था, 2012 से 2024, उसमें कोविड का 40% का फॉल भी आ गया, उसमें 2018 का आईएलएफएस डीएचएफएल क्राइसिस भी आ गया, उसमें 2016 का डिमोनिटाइजेशन भी आ गया, उसमें 2013 का टेपर टैंट्रम भी आ गया, उसमें 2022 में यूक्रेन रशिया की लड़ाई भी आ गई। अक्रॉस टाइम पीरियड मोमेंटम एज अ स्ट्रैटेजी जीती थी, 40% के फॉल में भी जीती थी और 100% की रैली में भी जीती थी। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मोमेंटम खाली तेजी के मार्केट में चलता है। कोविड के फॉल वाले साल में भी देखोगे, 2020 का भी डेटा अगर आप उस चार्ट पे फिर से जाके देखोगे, तो मोमेंटम ने 2020 में भी अच्छा किया था, 2021 में भी अच्छा किया है। तो ये बिल्कुल ही वो जरूरी नहीं है कि जब मार्केट गिरेगा, चाहे वो 1929 का डिप्रेशन हो, चाहे वो 2008 का लेमन ब्रदर और ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस हो, चाहे वो 2011 का यूरोपियन क्राइसिस हो, आप देखोगे मोमेंटम एज अ स्ट्रैटेजी हमेशा ही बेटर की है। गिरते मार्केट में जितना आपके बाकी के फंड गिरे हैं उतना ही मोमेंटम गिरा है, बट बढ़ते मार्केट में मोमेंटम की रिकवरी बाकी सारे फंड से बहुत ज्यादा रही है।
Thank you, Bhavesh. I think yeah, this has been a great insight what you have shared right now. I have another one counter question. हम इतनी सारी ग्रोथ, वैल्यू, मोमेंटम, देर आर सो मेनी फैक्टर्स, राइट? आपने जो बहुत सारे विराट कोहली बताए, आपने अनिल कुंबले बताए, बहुत अलग अलग तरह के बैट्समैन बताए, राइट? मैं उनकी बजाय मैं एक ओनली NSE 500 खरीद लूं, मार्केट कैप का एक सिंगल एक प्रोडक्ट ले लूं, एक इंडेक्स ले लूं, डोंट यू थिंक दैट विल ऑल्सो सर्व अ पर्पस फॉर मी? इतनी मेहनत करके व्हाट एम आई एक्स्ट्रा ट्राइंग टू अचीव? एंड अगेन, लाइक यू राइटली सेड कि राइट, आई डोंट नो विच ईयर ग्रोथ इज गोइंग टू प्ले आउट, which year value is going to play out. Again, I am just telling you, it's an investor dilemma. I need simplicity, I don't need complexity. To manage a simple structure, wouldn't a normal market cap index of, let's say, NSE 500 or top 500 मैं पूरा market खरीद लूं, and at least I participate in the market, there I don't need to worry कि अभी growth चलने वाला है, कि value चलने वाला है, momentum चलने वाला है. So do you think a core strategy should be a market cap, and strategies like momentum, value based on tactical view we can keep building up? Can it be a core strategy? That is my question to you.
Yes, the most important thing is to participate in market, irrespective with which format you are participating. That is the first thing. But now, as I told you, see, earlier your option was either you take active fund or you take passive fund. Just we take another example, like आई वॉन्ट टू इन्वेस्ट इन लार्ज कैप स्टॉक्स, मुझे मिड कैप से बहुत डर लग रहा है, मुझे स्मॉल कैप से बहुत डर लग रहा है, आई वॉन्ट टू इन्वेस्ट ओनली इन लार्ज कैप स्टॉक। तो जो नॉर्मल इंडिविजुअल है, जो इतना भी इवॉल्व नहीं हुआ है या अभी उसको बाकी चीजों में इतना इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, उसको अपना जॉब अपना बिजनेस ज्यादा ध्यान रखना है और ये खाली पैसिवली उसको इन्वेस्ट करना है, सो फॉर देम देर आर टू ऑप्शन। या तो आप एक एक्टिव फंड मैनेजर के पास जाओ। अब एक्टिव फंड मैनेजर के पास जाओगे तो आपके लिए वही रिस्क है, कभी प्रशांत जैन अच्छा करेगा, कभी एक्सिस अच्छा करेगा, कभी कॉन्ट अच्छा करेगा। आपको पता नहीं आपने जिस एमसी में लार्ज कैप में पैसा डाला है वो लार्ज कैप अच्छा करेगा कि नहीं करेगा। तो उससे बचने के लिए आप क्या करते हो, एनएससी 100 ले लो, लार्ज कैप के 100 के 100 स्टॉक ले लो, मेरा काम हो गया, मैंने 100 स्टॉक कंपनी में डाल दिया। लेकिन अगर तीसरा रिक्वायरमेंट है कि मुझे लार्ज कैप स्टॉक ही चाहिए, बट विद इन लार्ज कैप आज जब मार्केट लाइफ टाइम हाई पे है, शायद वोलाटिलिटी बढ़ सकती है, तो मुझे विद इन लार्ज कैप लो वोलाटिलिटी स्टॉक चाहिए, तो आपके लिए वो कस्टमाइज्ड इंडेक्स, पैसिव में ही कस्टमाइज इंडेक्स अवेलेबल है, जहां पे आपने ये कॉल लिया है कि मुझे लार्ज कैप चाहिए लेकिन लार्ज कैप के अंदर मुझे लो वोलाटिलिटी स्टॉक चाहिए। कोई कहेगा मुझे लार्ज कैप चाहिए लेकिन मुझे वो निफ्टी के 100 स्टॉक में अडानी ग्रुप के भी स्टॉक्स है, मुझे वो नहीं चाहिए। तो आप क्या बोलोगे, आप लार्ज कैप ही लो, लार्ज कैप में हाई क्वालिटी कंपनी ले लो, लार्ज कैप में लो वोलेटिलिटी कंपनी ले लो। कोई बंदा रहेगा बोलेगा मैं रिस्क लेने के लिए तैयार हूं, तो आप उसको बोलेगे आप लार्ज कैप में हाई मोमेंटम कंपनी ले लो। तो आपके लिए एक मेडिकल स्टोर में जाओगे तो आपको बीपी की भी दवा मिलेगी, आपको डायबिटीज की भी दवा मिलेगी, आपको कोलेस्ट्रॉल की भी दवा मिलेगी। ऐसा आपके लिए जरूरी नहीं कि आप मेडिकल स्टोर में गए तो सारी की सारी दवा खरीदनी है। आपकी जो प्रॉब्लम है, आप आपकी प्रॉब्लम की दवाई वहां से लेके आओगे। उसी तरीके से मुझे अगर सिर्फ क्वालिटी कंपनी चाहिए, मुझे मार्केट क्या हो रहा है, मिड कैप क्या हो रहा है, स्मॉल कैप क्या हो रहा है, उससे कोई लेना देना नहीं। मैं चाहता हूँ, मेरे 20 साल का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, मेरे बच्चों के फ्यूचर के लिए मैंने रखा है, तो मैं अगर हाई क्वालिटी कंपनी लूंगा जो पिछले 50 साल से दुनिया में उतार चढ़ाव जितने आने थे आके गए, कारगिल का वॉर हो गया, आपका 9/11 यूएस में हमला हो गया, 2008 का ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस आ गया, लेकिन ये ब्रांड के बिजनेस ये टिके रहे। तो अगर ये इतने क्राइसिस में टिके रहे तो ये आगे भी टिके रहेंगे। तो मुझे ये हाई क्वालिटी बिजनेस में पैसा डालना है। मुझे इनके एब्सोल्यूट रिटर्न से, रिलेटिव रिटर्न से कोई लेना देना नहीं है। मुझे पता है कि ये अपने अपने कैटेगरी के लीडर है। मारुति अपनी कैटेगरी का विनर है, चाहे ईवी आए नहीं आए, सीएनजी आए नहीं आए, जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी आएगी मारुति अडेप्ट कर लेगी। एचडीएफसी बैंक, चाहे कितने भी नए बैंक आए, कितनी भी नई एनबीएफसी आए, एचडीएफसी बैंक रहेगा। तो मुझे हाई क्वालिटी कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करना है, तो मैं खाली हाई क्वालिटी कंपनी लूंगा। तो मैं अपने कस्टमाइज्ड हिसाब से, मैं आपके लिए, हमने ये फैक्टर बेस में बहुत सारे अलग अलग किस्म के प्रोडक्ट आपके लिए बन गए। एक होता है कि मुझे इन सब चीजों से लेना देना ही नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं मेरे मार्केट के रिटर्न से खुश हूं। तो आपके लिए मार्केट कैप बेस वाले इंडेक्स के रिटर्न भी है, आपके पास एनएससी 500 भी है, आपके पास एनएससी 200 भी है, आपके पास निफ्टी भी है, निफ्टी नेक्स्ट 50 भी है। आपका जैसा कंफर्ट है आपके पास वो प्रोडक्ट है। लेकिन जैसे मैंने बताया कि मेडिकल स्टोर में हर किस्म के पेशेंट आएंगे, किसी को डायबिटीज की दवा चाहिए, किसी को कोलेस्ट्रॉल की दवा
करेक्ट
चाहिए।
करेक्ट
तो
करेक्ट, नो
प्रोडक्ट
नो।
सारे बन गए। अब आप पिक एंड चूज कर सकते हो कि आपके लिए क्या सुटेबल है।
Brilliant. Bhavesh, I think thank you very much for that insight again. I want to know in the current environment, again, mean reversion ki theory is coming out from many places ki markets have gone so high. Average small cap, mid cap index is high by 40-50%. Large caps are also riding high. So in an environment like this, which kind of factor you feel is most appropriate for investor to pick up? Which mix according to you is the most appropriate to select today?
Yeah. So see, one thing is quite obvious that irrespective क्या होगा मार्केट में, मोमेंटम विल ऑलवेज कम आउट एज अ विनर। क्योंकि आप 6 महीने के लिए इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर रहे हो, आप 3 साल 5 साल के लिए इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो। तो 3 महीना 6 महीना शायद मोमेंटम खराब करे, बट 3 साल 5 साल में आज तक तो खराब नहीं किया। और ये डेटा यूएस का 30 साल का, इंडिया का 20 साल का डेटा आपके पास अवेलेबल है। बट राइट नाउ जिस जंक्शन पे मार्केट है, ऑब्वियसली मेरे लिए प्रायोरिटी होगी सेफ्टी। क्योंकि एक ऑलमोस्ट 18,000 से 26,000 नॉन स्टॉप रैली आई है। ये 10% 20% करेक्शन विदाउट एनी रीजन भी आ सकता है। दैट्स व्हाई यू विल सी लास्ट 3 महीने से, जब से इलेक्शन के रिजल्ट आए हैं और कहीं ना कहीं एक पॉलिटिकल स्टेबिलिटी जो इंडिया की थी उस पर क्वेश्चन मार्क आया है। आप देखोगे लास्ट 3 महीने से जो शिफ्ट हो रहा है, जिसको आप मीन रिवर्जन बोलो या सेक्टर रोटेशन बोलो, जो शिफ्ट हो रहा है वो हाई बीटा नेम से क्वालिटी और लो वोलेटिलिटी की तरफ शिफ्ट हो रहा है। तो आप देखोगे आपके आईटी के स्टॉक्स वापस चलने लग गए। आपका प्राइवेट बैंक जो बिल्कुल ही नहीं चल रहा था, अब फाइनली कोटक और एचडीएफसी बैंक बॉटम से 10-10% चलने लग गए। आपके हाई बीटा नेम्स, जैसे आपने रेलवे के स्टॉक्स देखे थे, आपने डिफेंस के स्टॉक्स देखे थे, वो अपने टॉप से 15-15 20-20% डाउन है। मार्केट भले लाइफ टाइम हाई पे है, लेकिन वो इंडिविजुअल स्टॉक अपने हाई से 15-15 20-20% डाउन है। तो इसको हम बोलते हैं रोटेशन, जहां पे आप देख रहे हो कि क्वालिटी की तरफ लोग मूव कर रहे हैं। तो आपके लिए बेटर प्रोडक्ट रहेगा क्वालिटी प्लस मोमेंटम, लो वोलेटिलिटी प्लस मोमेंटम। ऐसे वाले प्रोडक्ट आपको आज की तारीख में देखने चाहिए।
So Bhavesh, I am feeling that आप हर चीज में मोमेंटम होना बहुत जरूरी है। आई थिंक व्हाट यू आर सेइंग कि आप क्वालिटी भी लो, लो वॉल भी लो, पर उसके साथ मोमेंटम जरूर से लो। आई आई थिंक इज देयर समथिंग कि नहीं ओनली क्वालिटी खरीदो, बट यू फील बेटर अल्फा विल बी देयर इफ यू हैव अ मोमेंटम मिक्सचर, राइट?
यस, सो वी हैव सम डेटा। अगर आप जब हम
Because this
आपके
is
आपके
something we are hearing for the first time. Trust me, we have not seen a big votary of momentum from anyone else like this. So
श्योर
that is
श्योर सो
where I am sure a lot of research is backed by this, right? I think you have a lot of
यस
data on that part, right?
या सो यू विल सी वी हैव, जैसे मैंने बताया ना, आई एम डूइंग मोमेंटम फॉर लास्ट 15 इयर्स, 2009 से। एंड इंडेक्स फंड तो अभी स्टार्ट हुए। मेरा बैलेंस एडवांटेज फंड, मेरा एग्रेसिव हाइब्रिड फंड, मेरा लार्ज कैप फंड, तीनों को 15-15 साल हो गए। तीनों के 15-15 साल का ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है आपके पास पब्लिकली अवेलेबल, जहां पे हमने फैक्टर बेस्ड इन्वेस्टिंग की है। लेकिन ये जो स्लाइड आपके सामने है, आप देखिए, स्टैंड अलोन लो वोलाटिलिटी, मोमेंटम, क्वालिटी और वैल्यू, इनके लास्ट 3 साल 5 साल 10 साल का परफॉर्मेंस देख लो। नो वंडर मोमेंटम सबसे आगे है। लेकिन जैसे मैंने बता दिया, कॉम्बिनेशन, क्योंकि आज की तारीख में हमको वोलाटिलिटी घटानी है। मोमेंटम की वोलाटिलिटी अगर आप देखोगे 19.3% है, हमको उस वोलाटिलिटी को घटाना है। तो देख लो, जैसे मैंने क्वालिटी के साथ मोमेंटम जोड़ दिया, जैसे मैंने लो वोलेटिलिटी के साथ मोमेंटम जोड़ दिया। नॉर्मल लो वोलेटिलिटी के 10 साल के रिटर्न 15% है, लेकिन जैसे मैंने लो वोलेटिलिटी के साथ मोमेंटम जोड़ दिया, वो 15% वाला रिटर्न हो गया 23%। अगर आप
करेक्ट।
एकदम राइट हैंड साइड का टेबल देखोगे, 10 ईयर रिटर्न जहाँ पे है। बट उसी पीरियड में आप देखोगे वोलेटिलिटी में ज्यादा फर्क नहीं आया। लो वोलेटिलिटी की वोलेटिलिटी 12 है, मोमेंटम ऐड करके भी वोलेटिलिटी 15 हुई, जो कि आपके बेंचमार्क से कम है। बेंचमार्क है आपका बीएससी लार्ज कैप, लार्ज एंड मिड कैप 250, उसका स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन 16 है। मैंने मोमेंटम के साथ लो वोलेटिलिटी जोड़ दिया, मेरा स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन आपके बेंचमार्क से कम है, और मेरे रिटर्न्स आपके बेंचमार्क से 8% ऊपर चले गए। तो जो आपका वो था कि मैं एक सिंपल मार्केट कैप बेस्ड इंडेक्स लेके बैठ जाऊं, आप देखिए बेंचमार्क ने तो सबसे ही खराब किया है। आपने लो वोलेटिलिटी प्लस मोमेंटम ले लिया, 15 के बदले 23%। वैल्यू प्लस मोमेंटम ले लिया, 15 के बदले 24%। क्वालिटी प्लस मोमेंटम ले लिया, 15 के बदले 24%। मतलब आपने कोई भी कॉम्बिनेशन लिया रहता, और ये डेटा सबकी सभी का डेटा एनएससी ने बनाया है। तो
राइट।
कोई भी एक डेटा हमारा तो है नहीं, सभी डेटा एनएससी ने बनाया। एनएससी के इंडेक्स का डेटा 2005 से अवेलेबल
From
है।
a risk perspective also, it has been managed well. You are low on the risk.
यस, वोलेटिलिटी, सो लुक एट स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल। ड्रॉडाउन भी अगर आप देखोगे, जो एक लोगों को डर होता है कि लाइफ टाइम ऐसे अगर गिरेगा तो कितना गिरेगा, इन इन पीरियड में 10 साल के पीरियड में टॉप से लेके बॉटम तक आपके सारे इंडेक्स कोविड के टाइम पे 38 to 40% डाउन थे। आपके ये जितने भी क्वालिटी प्लस मोमेंटम, वैल्यू प्लस मोमेंटम, लो वैलिडिटी प्लस मोमेंटम देखोगे, सारे के सारे 35 से लेके 36-37% डाउन थे। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बेंचमार्क 38 गिर गया और ये 60 गिर गए थे। बेंचमार्क 38 डाउन था, ये सब 34, 35, 36 डाउन थे। बट रिकवरी में इतनी अच्छी रिकवरी थी कि बेंचमार्क के रिटर्न 15 के 15 रह गए, इनके रिटर्न 23, 24, 25% हो गए।
Fantastic. So, according to you, a low volatility plus momentum could be an answer for investors looking at market-based participation. That gives a very balanced participation. Do you feel that is a very good combination to look at?
यस, सो आप दोनों देख सकते हो, क्वालिटी प्लस मोमेंटम एज वेल एज लो वोलेटिलिटी प्लस मोमेंटम। रिटर्न वाइज आपको ऑलमोस्ट 24% मिल रहे हैं, बट वोलेटिलिटी आप जितनी बेंचमार्क में है उतनी ले रहे हो या उससे भी कम ले रहे हो। बट रिटर्न में आप देख सकते हो ऑलमोस्ट 50% ज्यादा रिटर्न, 15 के सामने 23, 24। सो अगर आपको आज की तारीख में, जैसे मैंने बोल दिया, आपको लो वोलेटिलिटी पे फोकस करना है, आपको क्वालिटी पे फोकस करना है, लेकिन स्टैंड अलोन लो वोलेटिलिटी और स्टैंड अलोन क्वालिटी के रिटर्न देखोगे 10 साल के, तो 15% और 16% है। और वोलेटिलिटी इनफैक्ट आप देखोगे, क्वालिटी के साथ मोमेंटम जोड़ रहे हो तो आप वोलेटिलिटी तो हार्डली कुछ चेंज कर रहे हो, 15 के बदले 16 कर रहे हो, लेकिन रिटर्न 16% रिटर्न जो क्वालिटी ने दिए है, उसको आपने मोमेंटम से जोड़ के रिटर्न सीधे 25% कर दिए। तो आप
Right.
देखो, मोमेंटम ऐड करने से आपकी वोलेटिलिटी ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ा है, 15 और 16 में कोई ज्यादा अंतर नहीं है, लेकिन रिटर्न में 16% रिटर्न वर्सेस 24% रिटर्न, बहुत बड़ा फर्क है। और ये 10 साल का सीएजीआर बता रहे हैं हम।
Right, right, right. Very interesting, Bhavesh. Anything else on multi-factor? I think you have more data to back, right, on multi-factor?
Yes. So you will see, we have done multi-factors. We are already running multiple funds on multi-factor. In fact, आपने अगर हमारा business cycle fund देखा रहेगा, Edelweiss business cycle fund is the first fund where we are using factor-based investing, जहाँ पे multi-factor is यही जो तीन हमने देखे थे, quality plus momentum, growth plus momentum और value plus momentum. And that again जो आपका benchmark है NSE 500, that strategy has been outperforming NSE 500 on a rolling 3 year and rolling 5 year. रोलिंग 5 ईयर में 100 out of 100 टाइम्स आउट परफॉर्म किया, 100% ऑफ द टाइम आउट परफॉर्म किया है, विद एन एवरेज अल्फा ऑफ 5%। एनएससी 500 वर्सेस एडलवाइज बिजनेस साइकिल फंड का बैक टेस्टेड नंबर, इतना बड़ा आउट परफॉर्मेंस आपको वहां पे देखने मिला है। और एक जो चीज हमने बताई थी, ये देखिए आपके सेम वही चीज, वही डेटा को एक अलग तरीके से देखने का नजरिया ये है। स्टैंड अलोन क्वालिटी देख लोगे, स्टैंड अलोन मोमेंटम देख लोगे, और क्वालिटी प्लस मोमेंटम देख लोगे, आपने हर जगह पे अपने रिटर्न्स को इंप्रूव किया है। रिटर्न्स आपके कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं हुए हैं, रिटर्न्स बढ़ते हैं, वोलेटिलिटी घटती है, आपके लिए वो फायदा बढ़ता ही है। तो स्टैंड अलोन क्वालिटी लेने से अच्छा आप क्वालिटी प्लस मोमेंटम का कॉम्बिनेशन लोगे। स्टैंड अलोन क्वालिटी देखो, तीनों साल अंडर परफॉर्म कर रहा है। स्टैंड अलोन मल्टी फैक्टर का जैसे आप सिलेक्शन करते हो, आपको बड़ा फायदा मिलता है। So momentum, in fact, is always adding value to your factors, underlying factors.
Fantastic, Bhavesh. I think this is so much insights and so much genuine knowledge we have got from all your data, what data-backed solutions, what you have offered us. I think if anyone has any questions, kindly put it on the chat box. And if not any, I think Bhavesh, this was a very insightful session. I must say that I have personally benefited a lot from the insights what you have shared.
Thank
So
you.
I think we can wrap up the masterclass today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you, Bhavesh. Thank you very much.